Harry and Meghan, I don't particularly like talking about them anymore. I think it's become it's just a relentless kind of Groundhog Day thing, really. They want attention. They want to make money out of their royal titles. Every time they rear their heads to do it, everyone I hear goes nuts, including me, and then we carry on.
Meghan Markle posted a bizarre video on her social media yesterday, which sent several people into absolute meltdown. It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time.
When the song come on, let me see you get gone. Baby mamas, this your song. Been pregnant for way too long. I tell the DJ, turn it off. Turn it off.
If she a baby mama,
Go ahead.
she gon' do that baby mama.
Work.
She gon' put it on you. She gon' do that baby mama. Drop,
Drop it down, down low.
drop,
Drop it down, down low.
drop,
Drop it down low. Do the baby mama when I step out on the floor.
Hypocrisy. I mean, the hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
What are you witnessing? You are witnessing a broken heart that is allowed to bleed openly. That is what we are
That's
witnessing.
not what I'm witnessing.
That is what you are witnessing.
I'm witnessing an
You are
entitled,
witnessing
arrogant,
trauma.
bitter, twisted little man
You are
who's had
witnessing
his claws dug
trauma.
into by a manipulative LA lady, and the pair of them have got on a mission, a wrecking ball mission, to enrich themselves by abusing the very institution which bestowed the titles to them, which they use to make money.
Y'all, Meghan Markle is at it again, and this time with a dance video that's got everyone talking. Word is her so-called baby, or should we say fake pregnancy, might have just been exposed. Even Jeremy Clarkson and Piers Morgan are speaking up, calling out the stunt. It all kicked off with a video, one of those moments that hits you hard. Meghan Markle in a hospital room with Prince Harry, but she wasn't there like a calm royal about to welcome her baby. Nah, she's dancing, laughing, even twerking to tracks about being a baby mama and demanding child support.
When the song come on, let me see you get gone. Baby mamas, this your song. Been pregnant for way too long. I tell the DJ, turn it off. Turn it off.
If she a baby mama,
Go ahead.
she gon' do that baby mama.
Work.
She gon' put it on you. She gon' do that baby mama. Drop,
Drop it down low.
drop,
Drop it down low. Drop it down low. Do the baby mama when I step out on the floor. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, oh. Hit the baby mama when I'm stepping through the door. Yeah, I'm pregnant, but I got an ill flow. Tryna make some money, buy some huggies from the store. S to the T-A, double R-K, to the E-I-S-H-A, and I don't play.
For someone who's tried to play the royal game, it felt more like a bad skit than a birth announcement. But here's where it gets real messy. The rumors that have been brewing for years, was Meghan ever even pregnant? That video didn't just fan the flames, it straight up lit them on fire. Now, it's not just a few random conspiracy theories in the dark corners of the internet. No, folks, even the big names are speaking up. You've got Piers Morgan and Jeremy Clarkson throwing out questions, calling out what we all just saw. This ain't just another rumor, this is a full-blown expose. And it's not going away. Meghan Markle's latest spectacle left the internet in a frenzy, and it's about much more than just a viral video. The focus isn't even really whether she wore a fake baby bump. It goes way deeper than that. In the UK, royal children need to be born from the royal bloodline to secure their spot in the line of succession. So if Meghan secretly used a surrogate and kept it under wraps, we're not talking just deception. We're talking about Archie and Lilibet potentially losing their royal titles altogether. That's a game changer.
Me, I am not really interested in going down fully the surrogacy route, but is this weird? Yes. Do I believe maybe the question is, which is interesting, is like, what is Meghan lying about? Is it the pregnancy? Is it the preeclampsia? What was she lying about? Because she was obviously lying about something.
I don't think, because she's done this before for photos, I don't think that is a real baby bump. I think
way too big. It's way too big.
And sort of too low as well.
Yeah, it's like a meter out there. I mean, it looks the wrong shape.
I mean, where's she going to give birth there? Through her knees or something? I mean, that is too...
That video definitely reignited old rumors. Meghan dressed in black, dancing in a hospital room with Harry, moving to lyrics about being a baby mama and demanding child support. This is the woman who's built her entire narrative on wanting privacy, on escaping the prying eyes of the press. And yet here she is, putting out a performance that could only be described as a media setup. It wasn't just unexpected, it was a blatant contradiction. If there's one thing Meghan Markle loves, it's controlling the narrative.
Is it a bad look for Meghan to still refer to herself as a royal?
So what was this really? A PR stunt gone horribly wrong, or a calculated move to shift the public's attention elsewhere? The public reaction was swift and brutal. The internet, already primed for the slightest crack in Meghan's armor, exploded. Memes, hot takes, wild theories. Was this a distraction from something bigger? Or just another example of how out of touch Meghan and Harry have become with the people they once vowed to serve? Even the mainstream outlets, which have largely stayed quiet on the bump rumors, couldn't ignore it anymore. Many have been asking questions. Could this all be true? Meghan, not one to shy away from the spotlight, has remained silent on the matter. And the damage? Well, the damage may already be done. Jeremy Clarkson, never one to hold his tongue, didn't waste a second calling out Meghan's antics. "We're about 2 months away from the sex tape," he said on X, a brutal jab that summed up just how far Meghan's reputation has fallen. This wasn't just a laugh, it was a full-on roast. Clarkson wasn't the only one, though. Jeremy Kyle, always quick to voice his opinion, didn't pull any punches either. On air, he likened the whole scene to a lap dance club, calling it a disgrace to the monarchy.
This is difficult for me. Meghan and Harry, I find this, I feel like there's going to be a little bit of sick in my mouth. Meghan Markle has posted a cringy video of her and Prince Harry dancing in a hospital room. We're playing it. She's waiting for she's twerking with the baby to try and make the baby come. This is to induce Elizabeth's birth. She's dancing in front of the camera. Oh God, it looks like a lap dancing club with pregnant women. He's also dancing in front of the camera. She's got a black dress on. She's literally holding her bump and twerking, and she's put this on social media. The woman is
That's not light criticism. He was practically gagging as he tore apart Meghan's entire performance, describing it as something that belonged in a strip club, not a maternity ward. Women who've actually been through labor were quick to point out the glaring issues. The bump looked way too perfect, too smooth, and didn't move the way a real pregnant belly would. It was stiff, it was unnatural, and the questions kept piling up. Was that really filmed during her pregnancy? How did the bump change shape when she shifted positions? The questions weren't just about a bump anymore, they were about the entire performance. Then came the split-screen comparison that Piers Morgan posted. Meghan dancing in the hospital room with her bump sitting oddly, and Meghan years earlier performing on stage with a completely different posture and bump shape. Piers, who's never been shy about calling out the royals, took a subtle jab at Meghan, saying, "Tell me again how this is the same pregnancy." His followers were quick to pounce. The comment section went wild. People wanted answers, and they weren't getting any from Meghan. Was this a show? Was it all staged? The silence was deafening. Meanwhile, across the globe, people were reacting in disbelief. Alexandra Marshall, an ambassador for Australia's constitutional monarchy, couldn't hide her disgust. Speaking from Australia, she called the video a nightmare for monarchists. But her real concern wasn't about embarrassment. It was the ammunition this fiasco gave to Republicans in countries like Australia. For them, this was a prime example of why the monarchy is a joke. "It's cringeworthy and undignified," she said. And she had a point. This was the kind of thing that anti-monarchists would be salivating over. Meghan, once seen as a modern royal, now looked more like a performer desperate to hold on to whatever relevance she could grasp.
It's all over the tabloids. It's all over social media. Meghan Markle and the video. She posted this yesterday. There you go, folks. She's twerking in the labour room before giving birth to Lilibet, who she just turned 4, actually. The little girl was just 4 yesterday. She wasn't. So, safe to say this video has provoked quite a reaction, hasn't it? Yeah.
Norman Fenton, a mathematics professor fresh off a court case, came through with a chilling take. Forget the emotions, forget the drama. He broke it down with cold, hard logic. That bump she was sporting doesn't behave like a real pregnancy, he says. It's inconsistent with what we know about full-term physical behavior. He didn't even need to go into deep medical analysis because the question he posed hit harder than any scientific breakdown. If this bump wasn't real, what does that mean for Archie and Lilibet? That's the one that sent chills down anyone still giving Meghan the benefit of the doubt. Meanwhile, the mainstream media kept their mouths shut, not a peep. Articles about Meghan's beautiful birthday post for Lilibet stayed pinned to the top of every news site, completely ignoring the elephant in the room. The silence was deafening. Behind the scenes, though, the real work was happening. Journalists were scrambling, texting whistleblowers, chasing sources. Was this video a fresh release or an old one she pulled out of the vault? Why now? What's the game plan here? If it was damage control, it backfired hard. But if it was for publicity, well, it worked, but for all the wrong reasons. People started connecting the dots, piecing together the bigger picture, and the more they looked, the more it felt like something was being hidden. This wasn't just a viral moment. It was a calculated move.
They get so much trolling, don't they? But do you think that's because they've just wanted to be private for so long, and now obviously she's like launching this business, so she's sharing a lot more of her life, and so it's that kind of contradiction, isn't it?
Yeah. And then the questions turned serious. The speculation moved beyond gossip and into real legal territory. If Meghan had faked a pregnancy, or at the very least staged one, what did that mean for Archie and Lilibet's royal status? You see, the rules of the royal line of succession are clear. For a child to remain in line, they've got to be born of royal blood. No surrogates, no secrets. A royal baby must come from the body of a royal, or else it could be disqualified. And no public disclosure about a surrogate had ever been made. Legal experts weighed in, and this wasn't just a whisper on a conspiracy forum, it was a looming constitutional crisis. Petitions started circulating, demanding Buckingham Palace step up and launch a full investigation into the Sussex children's royal status. People weren't just talking about removing them from royal websites. No, they were calling for real action, suspending their titles until birth certificates and medical records could be verified. That's when the rumor mill really went wild, with some insiders claiming that Harry was even considering going back to his mother's maiden name, Spencer. That's when the royal world lost its damn mind. Was he distancing himself from the mess, trying to get ahead of the fallout? Either way, it sent shockwaves across the monarchy, and insiders were pissed. King Charles, deeply disappointed by what Meghan pulled. William, he was furious, not about the video itself, but about the chaos it brought back to the royal family. He was working hard to modernize the monarchy's image, and here came Meghan, dragging them back into a scandal. Some reports even claimed William called the whole stunt a disgrace to everything Mum stood for. And don't think the royal biographers were sleeping on this. Books that had been in progress for years were suddenly being rewritten. Chapters were updated, new theories came into play. It wasn't just a bad video, it was a full-on crisis unfolding right before their eyes. And while all of this was happening, what was Meghan doing? Silence. Complete radio silence. Not a press release, not a tweet, not even a subtle Instagram post to try and shut down the noise. Nothing. It was almost like she was sitting back, letting the storm swirl around her, daring the world to ask more questions. It was either a strategic move or a desperate one. Either she thought it would all blow over, or she was using silence as a tool to provoke even more questions. And the more she stayed silent, the louder the speculation got. People weren't laughing anymore. The mood had shifted. The public wasn't just mocking her, they were uncomfortable. There was a sense that something wasn't right.
Is disrespectful, I think, to the moment, to the child, and truly to like the sanctity of what goes on for any humans who are actually in that situation. She just She's drunk on her own ego. Your thoughts?
What followed was a wave of discomfort, a lingering sense that the truth was being ignored. People weren't just asking why Meghan would make such a strange video. They were wondering what else the palace had been covering up. What else had they been hiding? Was this just one more royal scandal, or was it the tip of the iceberg? For many, Meghan's video wasn't just some cringy viral moment. It was the moment they stopped believing anything coming from that corner of the royal world. The trust had been shattered, and no amount of silence or media control could put it back together. The public was done with the excuses. They wanted answers, and they were going to keep asking until they got them. And trust the online community, they've been loud. One user put it bluntly, saying, "Renting a room while the surrogate gives birth? Yeah, it's been done by other celebrities." And I think the trashy twerking is proof she wasn't carrying a kid. Another wrote, "Definitely not a real baby bump." While this other user said, "Any woman who has ever been 9 months pregnant knows that you absolutely cannot move like that. Her bump weighs nothing." So here we are. What started as a questionable dance video has turned into a full-blown controversy that's shaken the monarchy and Meghan's carefully crafted image. The once gilded royal couple is now left to answer for the spectacle they've created, and the public is watching every move. The question remains, was it all a carefully orchestrated move for attention, or has Meghan truly lost the plot? Either way, one thing's for sure, this isn't going away anytime soon. The damage has been done, and now it's all about the fallout. What do y'all think about all this? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter of this crazy unraveling.